Hi, I'm Chris Bates. I'm a teacher at Linda Brill Educational Academy and a CTA member and a member of the Council of Representatives. And I'm talking to Risha Gentry-Ballance, a teacher at Maryvale High School, and she's running again for president of CTA. So thank you, Risha, for answering my questions today.
You're welcome.
People don't know the work that you've done when you were past president and what some of your accomplishments were. Could you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, I achieved several things I'm pretty proud of, but I think the thing of which I'm most proud is being able to obtain an outside facilitator for our interest-based negotiations process. When I was vice president still, I felt like our negotiations process was going off the rails a little bit. Dr. Gueston was a new superintendent, and he had these new ideas. He thought we could all just be in a room together, negotiate, but that's not really the interest-based negotiations process.
When you say go off the rails, how do you get it back on the rails, or what is IBN supposed to be like?
It's supposed to be that since it's interest-based, each group has their own set of interests, specific interests they bring to the table, and then you negotiate from there. I was concerned that if we all had common interests, we would get swallowed up. I was concerned for CTA. I was also concerned for our sister organization, CEA, our support professionals, that we wouldn't have our distinct voices anymore. When I was vice president, I didn't feel like I had the power to affect any change. I did mention it to our then president, Mr. Lowe's. But then when I became president, I was able to bring it up to district leadership that we weren't doing IBN anymore, in my opinion. And, what, if anything, should we do about that? We decided, they decided to kind of put the ball back in my court. So I went to AEA and I asked Matt Cruz, who's an organizational consultant and an expert in interest-based negotiations, to come and help us out. So he came and he gave us a little workshop, CTA, CEA, ADA, and district leadership, to show us what IBN was really supposed to look like. And then we were all like, yeah, that's not where we're headed. That's not what we're doing. So he suggested we obtain an outside facilitator, somebody outside the district who could come in, keep it on track, keep IBN really IBN, keep us on track, streamline it, be objective, and just further the work. And so we did get a facilitator then, and we still use one now. So I'm proud that I was able to get us back on track in the interest-based negotiations process, but for the future. And now we use one, and things seem to be clicking along. So I did affect some real positive and lasting change in that regard.
But some people were not happy with the way you communicated the work that you were involved in. Speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was particularly revolving around the rollout of the new salary schedule in 2019. The one we have now is that same schedule, but stuff has been added to it and it's been revised. But that was the basic schedule that we rolled out in 2019. And that was the first new salary schedule we'd had in like 30 years. It was a lot, and we had a lot of hard conversations. Some people were upset, there was a lot of fear, they were concerned about where they were being placed. So we had these really stressful, hard conversations. And I would get defensive and argumentative because I knew where, we'd come in the 2 years it took to develop the schedule. And so instead of listening to people and validating their concerns, I would argue back and get really defensive. And that wasn't okay. It made people feel like I didn't care about what they would say, I didn't care about them, and they should just be quiet. So I needed to listen to their concerns, try to make them understand it was going to be all right, or validate, their concerns and the way they felt. I just needed to hear them.
So when you're reelected as president of CTA this spring, what will be different?
We need to go back to those hard conversations. I think we've lost that in the last 4 years with the new administration. We're not having those hard conversations. We've lost the transparency. We need to get transparency back. We need to listen. I need to listen better, but we need to listen more. We need consistent communication, not just a little email or a blurb here and there. We We need to keep talking to people. They need to hear the backstory. Why do our benefits need to change? Why is my insurance going to be different? I don't feel like we're hearing those stories anymore. We're not having those hard conversations anymore. We need to get back to that place.
And I think we can both agree that the CTA leadership currently has done some significant damage.
I think so. A lot of people feel like we need some change. Need all kinds of change, not just the president, but they're not feeling very warm and fuzzy about the vice president right now either, because he was part of the problem. There has been some significant damage done, some real scorched earth policy. And I know that I hear from our current vice president that he wants to compromise and like that. I hear that. But since he didn't stand up for us, I'm worried he can't be our strong voice, our strong advocate. There needs to be a line that you draw, that you'll hold when you're CTA president. You need to compromise, absolutely, and you need to bring solutions to the table, but you need to be a strong voice and go, yeah, no further. Much like I did with the IBM process and the facilitator. So there needs to be a connection between, I'm looking for solutions with you, but I'm holding this line for my members, and I'm listening to them, and I'm showing them what I'm doing. So that's what we need to get back to, and I think I can take us there.
Well, good luck, and thanks for answering my question.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.